10? 10, wow. So I think that was a really good demonstration of what family looks like, because family makes room for a 10-year-old to have a safe space where he can spread his wings and have no fear and have people cheer him on that might have just set him up for something in his future like never before. That's amazing. And so imagine if we all did this for one another all the time, what the body would become. Where there's a safe place for me to be who I am, knowing that I'm not getting judged or marked. I'm not at AGT, all right? I don't have judges who are going to buzzer me. I have family who's got my back and want to see me succeed. Wow, that's game changer right there. So I just have some questions that I want to walk with you through all the stuff that I shared. And I don't know if you have any questions, but if you do, you can throw them at me. But I'm heavily invested in you. I am heavily invested in who God made you to be and why you exist at this time, why you are passionate about the things you're passionate about, why you stay up at night thinking about certain things. I'm heavily invested in that because I believe that all the problems that we're seeing in the world have a solution in there within us. And as we walk out our divine design, our scroll, the book of our life, a lot of these problems are going to get solved. And you carry something in you that you might not fully realize you have right now. Are you with me? And so we talked about the people in your life, the belong tribe. We talked about the birth tribe. These are the ones you're going to carry. We talked about the build with tribe. These are your peers, right? People that you're going to do this with, this journey. And then we talked a little bit about purpose and a little bit about assignments. So I want to go a little deeper on this, asking you some questions so that you will stew on this tonight. One of the things that came up as a conversation with someone was the fact that in the kingdom, nothing is wasted. Nothing is wasted. The things that happened to you that were good and the things that were not good, our Father knows how to redeem them all. The mistakes that were made against you, but also the mistakes that you made. And this sometimes is the harder thing to move by, to move past a mistake that we made, to let ourselves off that hook and keep moving. So the mistakes that were made against you, mistakes that you made, things that happened that might have caused you pain and trauma in a season, all of these things are used in your purpose. You know that guy from Iran that I told you about? It turns out that he came to America in his teenage years and he was running underground raves. And so he would sell drugs out of the boot of his car. He would hack systems and burner phones and get away from the cops and all this stuff. He goes to Iran, has this encounter, gets saved, and now he's doing the same thing for the underground church. Nothing is wasted. His ability to network, his ability to hack into systems, now he's running underground conferences. He's able to get away from things, so nothing is wasted. And it's important for us to understand that because otherwise you might start to feel like there are seasons of your life that didn't mean anything. But he works all things together for your good because you love him and you are called according to his purpose. Are you with me? Okay, so a couple of things and then we'll go into some questions. So identity, assignment, maturity. What's my identity? I'm a son of God in the context of a family of God. I could be all these religions and be that alone somewhere up a mountain, but you can't be a son of God alone somewhere up a mountain. You may go up there, but you're coming back down here because you're a son of God in the context of family. Then I have this assignment, the task that God has opened up for me to do now. To do when? Now. My 5-year-old has assignments in the house. Not the same as my 9-year-old, but still just as important. My 7-year-old, everyone in my family has a part to play. There is no period where my children have to wait for a time where then they're eligible for an assignment. In fact, the small assignments prepare them for the bigger assignments. Are you with me? So what does that mean? You have an assignment when? Now. Some of you might be doing it without realizing it. Some of you might be hiding from it without realizing it. Some of you might be running from it and realizing it. Okay, but whatever it is, there is an assignment. And so now we want to take a little bit of time to engage Father on that. What is the assignment? What have you opened for me? Okay, So we just want to take a minute, and I want to get you to engage Father on that and ask this question. Father, what is my current assignment? And don't judge what you hear. We will judge later. If you judge while you're engaging Father, you're going to disrupt the flow of love. Because as soon as judgment comes in, you shut the flow. Okay? So we go 1 minute. Go for it. Engage Father. What is my current assignment? As you're getting words and thoughts, I encourage you to write them down, because sometimes they could come as a flood, different types of words, and you don't want to judge it. So write them all down. Whatever's coming up, don't judge it. Write it all down. And if you feel like you got something, just give me a finger so I know. Yeah. What is my current assignment? Just write all the thoughts down. My next question, where do you have favor? Where do you have favor? So you might have favor with a certain people group that love you, seem to always open doors for you. You might have favor in a certain place, a country, a nation. You might have favor in an industry. Where is your favor? You might have favor in certain aspects, like you always seem to win prizes. Things always seem to go your way in certain areas. Where is your favor? You might have favor in certain subjects where people keep asking you questions about certain subjects. They keep bringing something up to you. They come to you for a solution in a certain thing. Where is your favor? So just keep writing. We're going to keep going. What are your top 5 desires? And as you're writing them, just have a quick check. Is this a want or is this a desire? The Latin meaning of that word desire, D meaning off, sire meaning the Father. He has put that in you since the beginning. What are your desires? Remember, don't judge. We'll judge it all later. We keep going on this path. What is your passion? What's a subject you can stay on for days? It gives you energy. Something that you think about a lot. You could research it. You pray about it, you read about it, you write about it, you annoy your relatives about it. Your passion. Now, as you're writing your passion, you may find that in your mind you have a fight because you're trying to see if it's a godly thing. We can put that to the side for now. With no judgment, what would be your passion? I'm just warming you all up like an incubator, right? So we keep going deeper. Just let me know if I'm going too fast. Are we good? Yes? Partly awake? Thinking? Okay. Got a couple of thumbs. Just a few more questions. The next one. What are 5 things that are good about you? Not 5 things you're good at doing. What are 5 things that are good about you? We're just warming up, right? What are 5 things that are good about you? You might say that you are kind, you are empathetic, you're perceptive. What are 5 things that are good about you? Now, while you're doing this, some of you may be like, am I allowed to say good things about myself? True humility is being everything that God says you are and everything that God made you to be. 5 things that are good about you. Next done. Oh, that table's fast. How many of you got 5 already? Yeah. How many of you got 3? Yeah. We'll go 30 more seconds. 5 things that are good about you. Okay. Next one. 5 things that you're good at. What are 5 things that you're good at? So again, don't judge. If you can sing, don't compare yourself to the little man who just did a great job. No comparisons here. What are 5 things that you are good at? And you may write sleeping, and that is fine. You may write eating, and that is fine. Five things that you are good at. And you could get a bigger list than this. For time purposes, I'm just doing 5. I'm just warming you up. As you're doing these questions, there's another question that will be going on in the back of your head, your mind, which is, who do I say I am? You know, I was doing a coaching call once, and these ladies were on the call, and I said, hey, do you guys, would you say you're beautiful? And the answers were all like, well, God says we're beautiful. God says I'm beautiful. God says I'm beautiful. But you know, I have these 3 girls that are my daughters, and I tell them they're beautiful every day. But at some point, I want them to own that for themselves. I don't want my daughter to be 30 and say, well, Papa thinks I'm beautiful. And so who does God say I am is half the equation. But who do I say I am? That completes that. And a lot of times we don't know how to own that second half. We almost think that it's pride. But a lot of times it's just false humility, which is actually pride. Because humility is just, I am. I agree with everything that God says I am. And I don't just say it because God says I am. Now I say I am, and I agree with that. So as you're writing these answers, some of you are going to come face to face with some of this thinking in you that will actually stop you from stepping into your own assignment. And you can walk through that right now by owning who God says you are. Are we good? Okay, now I got a big question for you, and maybe this is the last question from me. Let's say, I know we're all immortal, okay, so don't get mad at me. I'm just throwing a hypothetical question, okay? Let's say an angel showed up right next to you, right now, okay? And the angel's like, hey, we're going to say bye to your whole family. You got a couple of weeks, and then you got 6 months. Unlimited resources, unlimited connections, but you got 6 months. And you can build, create, or set up anything that you want. What would you do? Okay, I'm going to say that question again because you might want to write this down. And those of you that want to go deeper, you can ponder on this because this is going to open you up in a whole new way. Okay? Angel shows up. You got 6 months, unlimited resources, unlimited connections. But there is something that you must build, create, or set up. What would you do? What would you build, create, or set up? And the more specific you can get. So, for example, I'll build an orphanage. Where? Which city? How many people in that orphanage? How is it run? What color is the roof? Specificity. And there is something that will start unlocking in your desires. It's going to blow your mind. It's going to blow your mind, right? So, in the next few sessions, tomorrow and the day after, I'll go deeper into this. But I want to just share with you something. So, Nehemiah hears about a problem that these walls have been broken. And seeing the problem causes a reaction where he's weeping and he engages God about the problem. Now, a lot of people knew about that problem. Everyone didn't cry about it. Okay? I'll submit to you, he cried about it because there's something in him that he was going to do about it. There are sometimes I talk to people and I ask them, what's the thing that annoys you the most in the world? And they say, sex trafficking. And they can't say the word because they start crying. Some of you, when you speak about certain subjects, your body starts, oh, yeah, because there's something in there. You have come with an answer. You have come with a solution. So Nehemiah sees a problem that other people see, but he has a reaction. And now what does he do? He presents that to Father, and he gets a strategy. And at no point does Nehemiah have a problem with resources. Most people that I talk to, believers, always say, I can't fulfill my purpose because I don't have the resources. And I'm submitting to you now that your king, who sent you on assignment, is not a bad king. Only a bad king would send someone on assignment without the resources. Are you with me? So we have people that think, I must go and get a money-making objective to then have money to do something for God. But when I understand I am seated in heavenly places with him, I lack nothing. I've been given all things pertaining to life and godliness. I'm learning how to live from that realm and facilitate heaven through the desire that he put in me. Are you with me? So what would you build, create, or set up? And something's going to start getting unlocked in there. And so Nehemiah doesn't know how it's going to happen. But Nehemiah ends up seeing the king. And the king is like, hey, what's wrong? And the king delivers every resource and consent necessary. Are you with me? And I'm submitting to you right now that if you were to take some of these answers that you worked with and took them to Father, and you were like, wow, well, this is in my heart. And you start going back and forth with him, that your resources will just start to show up. And things will just start to happen. Because it doesn't have to be on your own strength. Are you with me? I have a friend who is right now in Ukraine, and he's a pastor to the soldiers. Crazy guy. He used to be a gang member in Australia. Crazy story. Gets radically saved. He's just like evangelist number one, you know. And one day he's watching God TV, and Heidi Baker's like, oh, there's someone watching me, and you've come from prison, and God's going to take you around the world. And he's like, that's me. And he ended up going to 51 countries, this ex-convict, right? But I've watched this guy live like a free son in a way that's blown my mind. So I go to meet him one day, and he's like, hey, look, come, let's hang out. We hang out, and he picks me up in his Mercedes-Benz. Well, how'd you get a Mercedes-Benz? Oh, I prayed for this lady, and she gave me a car. I'm like, oh, $70,000 car. Okay, that's great. Where are we going? Oh, to feed the homeless. In the Mercedes? Yeah, I got food in the back and old clothes in the boot. So we open this up, we walk, he takes me into all these places under the bridge. And he's like, Jerry, calling out these names. These people start coming out of all these crevices. And he knows them all by name. He's like, yeah, awesome. Free son. Free son. Then we go on the street, and he's like, yeah, I always carry change in my pocket because you never know who you're going to meet. And he pulls out change. I'm just like watching Jesus in action with this guy, you know. A few weeks later, I hear the story that he's trying to find a home for someone. A few weeks later, I find out there's a house being built, and the house is gifted to him, $500,000. Takes the house. A few weeks later, gives the house to this lady. Christians are mad because he's giving it to a non-Christian. Free son. I watch him walk. Like, 1 minute we're hanging out here. Then he goes, hey, I'm going to Ukraine. Why are you going to Ukraine? Oh, the father's called me to go be a pastor to the soldiers. What are you going to do? Well, my Navy background allows me to go and be a soldier, so let's see what happens. So he's in Ukraine. In Ukraine. He's like funding things, and then he puts a video out. What's the video? Him and 3 other soldiers taking flowers to a babushka, a grandmother there, who's never received flowers in her life. And she's like weeping at these soldiers who are bringing her flowers. He comes back to New Zealand for a holiday. I'm like, bro, we got to catch up. He's like, yeah, come meet me at this address. He gives me the address. I drive there, and it's a mansion. It's an $11 million mansion. What are you doing here? I go down the driveway. He's in like some bedroom all the way out there. Calls out to me. We go inside. He's like, oh, there's someone who kind of supports my ministry, and this is their house, and they give me use of it whenever I want. Free son. At no point have I ever heard from his mouth, well, I don't have the resource. That is the biggest lie we've been told. You are resourced in every way if you're going to walk with your dad. All right, and so I've watched this guy, free son. So he's prayed over dead bodies, all these soldiers, and he speaks peace over them, rough, rugged soldiers who will never walk into a church. And he just says to them, just when you are coming close to the end of your life, which is a huge chance, just remember to speak to Jesus and say, remember me in paradise. All right, he buys beer. He gets in trouble because Christians are like, why do you buy beer for the soldiers? He's like, well, he buys beer, and then they sit down, and they pour their heart out to him. And he walks them through healing. And a lot of these guys have ended up meeting Jesus in a battlefield. Just a free son. He's a free son. Right? But here's the other side. I saw him put a post up of him and his mother. And he's like, this might be the last time I see my mother. She's getting old, and I got to go on my assignment. And he said goodbye to his mother to walk into what Father called him to. And he's like, I know my mom's in good hands even when she's done on this side of the veil. Free son. That's you. That's me. We lack nothing. We get to walk this out with our Father. Some good, some bumpy, some beautiful, some messy and beautiful. But in all of it, He's good. And it's good. And He's calling us all deeper today. Is this okay? Are we okay? You know, you can tell Spider-Man that he's Spider-Man till he's blue in the face. But he doesn't become red and blue till he gets out there and... So when I'm getting you to answer these questions, I'm getting you to... Do you know what I'm saying? There is a way that you're going to do what you're called to do that nobody else can do like you. Even if they copy everything that you do and try and sound just like you, they can't do it. They don't have the same frequency. Because it's not their design, it's yours. Some of you may not realize there are people waiting on you right now. They just don't know what you look like. There are people waiting on you and they don't know what you look like. But when you show up, they will see you and say something like, where have you been all my life? Like some of you said to Chris. How many of you said that to Chris? Or thought that? Like, man, where has this guy been? Imagine if he just chose not to walk out his assignment. None of you would have met him on the street and gone, that's Chris Blackaby. There are people that don't even know they're waiting on you. When you show up, lives will change. You are an answer to someone's prayer. Yeah. So bless you. And we'll go into questions. And yeah.